All right, what's up, guys? Before we jump into the watch list, I've got some good news for you. For those of you with the big three squeeze indicators, I'm going to send out an update on Friday, and the update includes the white dots here. So basically what I did was, I took everything on the checklist for the A+ setup, which of course comes from our labels, right? Momentum criteria, structure criteria, trend criteria, the squeeze, the buy signals, the scoring system, everything required for the A+ squeeze. Now pops up here in the white dot. So if you have or had a white dot, you've got yourself an A+ setup. Kind of simplifies the entire process. I mean, really, you could actually take off the labels here. If you wanted to, take off all the labels, just focus on the white dots. If you've got the white dots, you've got the A+ squeeze. If we go check out Netflix from last week, we had a nice trade here, where on the daily, 2-hour, 1-hour, and the 30-minute time frames, we got the white dots. A+ squeeze on the daily chart. We had one down here on the 2-hour. We had one on the 30. All the way back here, and we had one on the 1-hour as well. 4 different time frames, all cranking out the A+ squeeze. All you got to do is watch the white dot. And that's been my entire focus lately. Right? Nothing but A+ setups. So the 22 trades I've taken here, they all had the white dot. Right? Different time frames, different stocks, different strategies, some butterflies, some debit spreads. They all fit the A+ criteria. So like I said, for those of you with the indicator, we will send out the update on Friday. For those of you who don't have the indicator, and even if you do, I'm doing a free webinar on Thursday the 20th. So tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central to talk all about the indicator, the A+ setups, and all that good stuff. We shall talk about the white dot. With that being said, though, we'll jump in here. If we check the score sheet real quick, S&Ps and QQQ, they remain the 2 strongest indexes. And then for the sectors here, it's tech and semis. You got a few things making a little progress. XLC, financials, industrials, XLY pretty solid. But until things change, leadership is big tech and the big semis. Now, the one thing to consider here, if we look at the SMH, it's super strong, but also in the short term, it's a little bit overbought. Now, keep in mind, overbought is just a metric. Does not mean we have to pull back, and frankly, I've got no sell signals. We might be a bit overbought, but they can keep the push going until we actually get some 15-minute, 30-minute, 1-hour, 2-hour sell signals. We've got nothing but buy signals for now. In the event we do get a pullback, I would actually love that. I'd love a pullback in Broadcom, the beast formerly known as Broadcom. Right, it's super strong, but as far as a swing trade, there's not too much I can do all the way up here. I'd love to find a spot to buy some LRCX. This one has the white dots on the weekly squeeze. I want to buy that on a pullback. All right, NVIDIA, Broadcom, AMAT, LRCX, all the above. If I can't catch a pullback, I can day trade them. I can look for the A+ setup. I can look for the white dots on a 15-minute, 30-minute, 1-hour time frame. Moving on to the SPX here. And we had the white dots here on the daily chart a few weeks ago. And so far that squeeze works as advertised. Big rip higher. And now we're coming up on, I think, a really big level at 5,500. Big level at 55. Again, in the short term, we're a little bit overbought. But I've got no sell signals. No sell signals means they can trade it sideways or they can keep on taking her higher. And then for the QQQ here, it's basically the same discussion. No sell signals, little overbought. But over here on the weekly chart, we just had the white dots. A+ squeeze, fires to the upside, and as a general statement, maybe not in a straight line, but as a general statement, that does bode well for a bit more upside. Look back here in November of last year. We got the white dots, squeeze fired, and that triggered a multi-month push. Point being, tech, semis, QQQ, that's our leadership. Until that changes, until we get a little rotation, that's the pond we want to fish from. Respect the fact that in the short term, we're a little overbought. Also respect the fact, until we get some sell signals, they can keep the push going. Now for some setups here. So one I would love to buy on a pullback would be Microsoft. And we got the A+ squeeze here on the weekly. That can take Microsoft towards 460, 465. I think for a better swing trade entry, I'd like a little pullback. Right? Nothing crazy. I'm not asking for too much here. Just a little dip and a better entry. But until that signal gets canceled and there's no more white dot, that might take this puppy to 465-ish. And then over here for Netflix, I showed you earlier, you had all the white dots across 4 different time frames last week, and the daily squeeze just fired. The spot gamma call wall is up there at $700. Again, maybe not in a straight line, but if the market can hold up here, I think they can take that daily squeeze, potentially keep a move going towards $700. Big round number, big sexy target, and a good looking daily squeeze. So if I can't catch it on a pullback, I'd look for the next 15-minute, 30-minute, 1-hour squeeze. And that might be the spot to nibble on some more Netflix. And then for Google here, we've got the A+ squeeze on the 2-day time frame. It might need a bit more time to develop, but in a good market eventually, they can take that squeeze, get a move going towards 185-ish. If they can keep it above the daily 21, and then get a few more buy signals, right? A 1 hour, a 4 hour, a daily, then I think they can trigger that move off that 2-day squeeze. Next up is BKNG. Now, admittedly, we're a little bit late for a great entry, and the spreads on the options kind of suck. It wouldn't be the first thing I try to buy, but so far it works pretty good here. Had the white dots on the daily for a few weeks, and off she goes. Also have them here on the weekly. So if you like wide spreads, that might be right up your alley. Next up is Mara. Now, the crypto names, they've been a little spastic as of late. So, know what you're working with. But we've got a lot of squeezes here. The weekly, the 3-day, the 2-day, the daily 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, and the 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different time frames, building up a lot of energy. As far as our daily chart goes, that's an A+ setup. All the trend, all the structure, all the momentum criteria, the squeeze, the buy signal, the perfect score. We've got the A+ white dot. And one more for you, Procter & Gamble. So, not the sexiest name, but I do think in the chance that tech and the semis pull back, you want to look for a little rotation. Right, if we take a quick look here at XLY, this has, or it had rather, the white dot daily squeeze. That just fired. If we go check the financials on the weekly, we've got the fresh white dot, and then even XLP on the 2-day time frame. Again, until things change, keep your major focus on big tech and the semis. If they do pull back a bit and we get a little rotation, the weekly chart on XLF, the 2-day chart on XLP, and the daily chart on XLY might be shaping up for a move. So back to Procter here. Again, not the sexiest name, but we've got the white dots here on our 2-day time frame, and we also have them here on the 4 hour. I might check it out tomorrow afternoon. The 170 calls for a few weeks out, they're pretty cheap. They're pretty cheap if you ask me. Might nibble on a few and look for a push higher here off that 4-hour. We've got Procter, we've got Mara, we've got Netflix and Microsoft, BKNG, Google, and one more real quick, Tesla on the 2-hour. If you look at the watch list columns here, we've got the green A+ on our 2-hour. Therefore, on our 2-hour chart, we've got the white dot. 185, a very important level here for Tesla. 185 is the weekly 21 EMA. And you'll notice every time they pop it towards or even a bit above that 185, they can't quite stick the landing. All right, they pop it, and they drop it, and they try again, they try again, they try again. On Friday, if they can get a weekly close above that weekly 21, not a guarantee Tesla's going higher, but I do think the idea of a move towards 195, 200 could be a lot easier above that weekly 21. So therefore, if they can keep it above that $1.85, the 2-hour squeeze here might be interesting tomorrow and Friday. Few names for you to keep an eye on. But yeah, like I said, for those of you with the indicator, we shall send out the update on Friday. And for all of you, come hang out on Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central, free webinar on the Big 3 squeeze system, and we'll talk all about the A+ setups. Have a great night. I hope to see y'all there, and I'll talk to you soon. Adios.